Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a hot minute. I'm sorry. Okay, things have been crazy. As you can see from my new white walls, we're in a new area. I also got a new microphone, so shout out to that. It's from the 70s. It's gorge. Anyway, I'm back with a new video idea. I have my new apartment. We're in a new school, and life is just perfect. Anyways, recently I've been doing a little deep dive on celebrity homes because one of my favorite Twitch artists or Twitch streamers, Pay Money Wubby, has been going into celebrity homes and reviewing their home reviews that are on Architectural Digest and such. And this is interesting for me because as an interior design student, it's definitely something that interests me. And I would say I've come to a few conclusions, such as they're not great. I'm not gonna lie. Some of them are good. Not many of them are, though. So, topic of this video is going to be, why are celebrity homes so tacky? Because I feel like they feel like shell homes. Like shell companies, they feel like shell homes. But I would categorize them into lifestyle, personality, and the true crime, the designers. So, for me, lifestyle can be characterized by the ideas and curated personality that most celebrities have. A few years back, internet celebrities used to be your average teenager recording in their bedroom like me or filming in their home. And the further back, celebrities used to be real people with musical talent or some sort of, performative act, like actors, musicians, things like that. Like, think of, I don't know, for me, it's like Michael Jackson, King of Pop, things like that. Now with the rise of social media, celebrities are not only actors, musicians, models, they are the appearance of a lifestyle. They have curated PR teams, marketing interns, ready to organize anything that they post. They have people who decide what roles they accept, people who decide what they do with their lives, what they post, things like that, Their lifestyle is no longer just average person doing what they want. I mean, to an extent, yes, but at the same time, not really. Sometimes, especially when you get into the upper echelons of wealthy people, it's definitely like they have assistants, they have chefs that cook for them, they have stylists usually. Not something so much that we would do as normal people, I would say. And their home is not necessarily a place that they spend a bajillion hours in, just like you and me, I hope. According to this article on Backstage, it says actors, quote unquote, filming a movie or a TV show can take a long time. According to cinematographer Margaret Kernawan, I hope I said that correctly, 1 or 2 script pages will take a whole day to film. The longer the script, the longer the actors are away from home. Which honestly makes a lot of sense, considering how actors and other celebrities are traveling all the time. Owning a home is more of an investment more than it is like comfort. But I mean, I think some actors feel that way, but realistically not too many, especially like the big hot shots. Just as the Birkins, Ferraris, Pateks of the world, they are symbols of status. That makes a lot of sense. It's a mere projection of the life they have achieved and are trying to sell you. The audience. Because without an audience, who are you, right? And sometimes their true personality, it bleeds in there, but we don't really actually know what goes on behind the cameras and the scenes and things like that. So sometimes the homes they live in is good, but most of the time, especially on this Architectural Digest thing that they got going on, not so much, I would say. In addition to lifestyle, they have a lot of vacations, a lot of spending sprees. Homes are not necessarily a place that celebrities might spend a whole year, you know? Couches are not very comfortable, and the decor is super large, super heavy, and beds are so neat. My bed is not that neat. We're looking at it. It's not super neat. I make it every day, but it doesn't look like a psychopath ironed it and make sure that it looks nice, you know? I don't have a professional stylist telling me anything to do. And, you know, why would I spend all that time at my house if I could be in my other quadrillion-dollar beach house in Venice, you know? Or, like, there's a premiere in Norway for some reason, you know? You're gonna be traveling all the time, whether it's on private jet or not. So homes are just they're like a base point, you know, for most celebrities, I would say. Category 2, personality. I've touched on it a bit before, but it can be hard being a celebrity. Oh, I know. I'm crying my tears with the with the money, right? You just don't really have any privacy. Like, the normal person might get recognized in their local area if they've had friends or family in the area, and it's great and it's cool. But, like, when you're a well-known face, you can't really, like, do the normal things that people do on a regular basis, you know? I mean, you can try. And I do think paparazzi has gone down a little bit, but for the most part, that used to be a big thing, especially, like, maybe 30 years ago? What, the 90s? Something like that? And it's definitely died down, you know? Not as conspicuous, more intimate. Now that everybody has phones, they can just zoom in and be like, what are they doing? Let me see. This is why celebrities, you know, don't want homes that are so tacky sometimes. You know? If they're enjoying their time at a cafe or something with their friend, people are like, oh my gosh, look who I found. And you'll see it even on social media. Like, some influencers will be at a dinner or whatever, and they'll take a photo of whoever they're near. And yeah, you just don't get the same virtues that normal people get, where they can just enjoy their lives and not exist for a little bit. But when your face is the prize, you know, you pay a cost, right? Let's see. For example, Kendall Jenner with her James Turrell artwork titled Scorpius. Ooh, when she meditates in front of, or the home theater Good Mythical Morning host Rhett McLaughlin spends time in when he was sick. P.S. I don't think he did this on purpose, but it definitely looks like the most comfortable couch in the whole house, but that's my opinion. Yeah, sometimes celebrities might want their homes to be a reflection of the person that isn't in the spotlight. So, like, it feels off to us because we don't know that person, you know? But there's a reason they like things like that. Personally, I wouldn't have a house full of things that are very uncomfortable and expensive and you couldn't even lay on. But that's just me. That's just the normal person viewing that. I think the average person sees a house as something to hold on to for a long time, and like this is where I'm gonna settle, have kids, have a family. But I feel like for celebrities, it's not really the case. You know, you can just be there and talk with them and have a little lunchy poo. But after, like, I don't know, 2 weeks or so, they're going to be bored. They don't really stay in their house for long periods of time. So it's definitely different. It says, buying a house, like a celebrity, is a completely different process. True. According to this article on Yahoo, it states, celebrity clients have particular needs and tastes that most suburban and urban homes outside of New York, LA, and Miami don't typically offer. Notes Andrea Desi Edre of Serhant PA, actually. In many instances, they have to modify their homes to accommodate their needs. So what kind of changes are we talking about? Pretty much what you'd imagine. Gallery-sized closets for handbags and shoe collections, his and her bathrooms with spa-inspired amenities, and of course, multiple garages for luxury cars. Now, this is not typical by any means, but dream with me here. You spend a lot of money buying a home, then you renovate the home while you're, preparing and moving around for work, social events, and by the time it's complete, you maybe spend half the year in it while still paying for it. So, in a few years, down the road, and you want to sell it, who do you think is going to buy a home like this? I'm here to read you the stats. I said previously, the home is an investment. I agree. It is a liquid asset that can be sold or bought at any time, so not doing too much to the home in terms of design and furniture and paint on the walls is really what's going to make the design process even smoother than it should be. They're essentially trading cards with other celebrities, which, kind of makes sense, but some examples of this are featured in various interviews in Architectural Digest. Khloe Kardashian's former Calabasas home was featured on the show Keeping Up with the Kardashians, originally belonging to Eddie Murphy's ex-wife, Nicole. In 2012, Nicole sold the 9,320 square foot house to Justin Bieber for $6.5 million. 2 years later, Kardashian bought the mansion from Bieber for $7.2 million. She spent a lot of money customizing the place, and in 2020, she sold it to YouTube star Darman for $15.5 million. Another example is actor Sylvester Stallone sold his massive 8-bedroom, 12-bathroom Beverly Hills property for a whopping $52 million to Grammy-winning artist Adele. Stallone settled for about $1 million less than what he asked for. A gigantic property sits at about 3.5 acres of land and includes luxurious amenities like a 2-story guest house, a cigar room, a primary suite with 2 bathrooms, a sauna, a steam room, and its terrace. My last example says, in 2021, The Weeknd sold his Hidden Hills home to the Queen of Pop Madonna for a whopping $19.3 million, making a minor loss, as he had originally bought it for $20 million in 2017. Per Architectural Digest, the 13,391 square foot mansion features 7 bedrooms and 9 bathrooms, along with luxurious amenities like a wine room, a home theater, a bar area, a 5-car garage, and a guest house with 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, while the campus includes an infinity pool, a full basketball court, and an outdoor living room. With all that information, we have come to the last section of the video, designers. And I'll let future Caroline talk about that. Okay, future Caroline here. We are on the topic of designers. So, I have a script, by the way, so don't feel like I'm ignoring you guys. All right, I said, now to preface, I'm not saying any of the designers that I might mention are bad. They're just different. They're definitely something, and they know their audience, right? They're not everyone's taste, but that's the point, is it not? The point is to make a design that satisfies your client, not necessarily the general public. So, like I mentioned before, Rhett's home was designed in partnership with his wife, who owns Jessie Land Interiors, and she classifies this space as a, quote, Art Nouveau Carolina cabin. A full-scale remodel transformed this log cabin into a grown-up fairy tale. Using the verdant North Carolina landscape as inspiration, she leaned heavily on lush greens in tonal variations alongside an autumnal palette. Interesting. She carefully selected dramatic natural stones throughout the kitchen, 3 primary suites, guest bath, and powder with antiques and wallpaper that bring a mind to a European chateau. Custom stained glass, a restored French mantle, and a bespoke Art Nouveau hood surround make this home a one-of-a-kind retreat. End quote. So this sounds really nice in theory, and very opulent per se. And so realistically, in my opinion, my humble opinion, this is opinion, okay, not anything else. You can tell me I'm wrong. But the design has some faults. The bathroom, exactly, like why is there glass paneling everywhere? Also, I learned if you do not have a family that is obsessive compulsive cleaners, you will, and I mean will, as in 100%, will have to replace those showers eventually because the mold on the bottom of the lining of those glass walls is a lot. Because it's panes, right? It's pane in between two little, we'll say like holders, graspers. And unless you're like finger tipping and like taking the towel and putting it in between those little suction places of the glass pane, it's going to be a hassle to clean. So, number one. Number two, what does boxing in your toilet do for the overall space? Why is there a fabric chair that I know no one is sitting in? Because why would you want to sit there when you're wet? The vintage finds. Okay, some of them are good. Some of them. But let's take a look at this. What is that? Why would anyone want to sit next to it? Very performative in my opinion. But those are small things, so we'll move on. I'm not trying to drag it on for too long. So we have Kim K's home, right? That I talked about before. And I said, designed with Kanye, with Ye now, right, in mind, and designed by Alex Vervoodt. How do I pronounce this one? Vervoodt? It's okay, editing Caroline will take care of this.
Vervoodt.
Anyways, Alex
Vervoodt.
Okay, that guy. He says, in an interview with Home and Gardens magazine, he said, quote, Kanye and Kim wanted something totally new. We didn't talk about decoration, but a kind of philosophy about how we live now and how we will live in the future. We changed the house by purifying it, and we kept pushing to make it purer and purer, the designer explains. In practical terms, I would say these lofty ambitions translated into wholesale transformation of the proportions of the house in many rooms, all of which are sheathed in luminous off-white plaster and accented with other pale natural materials. The proportions are the decoration, Kanye says, and the furnishings, kept bare minimum, consist mainly of Vervoodt's characteristically subtle designs accompanied by sympathetic creations by the likes of Royer and Pierre DeGeneres. I'm going to put it on screen. Now, opinion-wise, I'm not the biggest fan of minimalism, but I do understand that some people want to live in a museum and it's easy to clean. I got that. But it's not bad. I just know I wouldn't be able to live because it's almost like the absence of design, kind of like how I view white. White is an absence of color for me. But in light, it's the opposite, because then dark is the opposite. You get it. Okay. But I do like it. It's not for me, per se, but that's okay. You could argue that it's the peak of design, rooted in the simplicity, but as a person who enjoys seeing color in their life, it's really hard for me, but I'm happy that Kimmy likes it. And lastly, I'd like to end on a good note about Nina Dobrev's home. I actually really, really enjoy that one. Watching her home tour made it seem like she really loves and adores the home. She actually painted the exterior of the home with her boyfriend instead of hiring contractors, which I really applaud. And she actually lives in the home, and you can tell. Like, you can tell she has pictures everywhere. Her, like, kitchen hood over her thing was something she purposefully designed, and I really appreciate that. She has a spice rack, plants that she likes, little memories of her time abroad. It was very nice to see. Her home was renovated during the pandemic with a team of designers with consort design and features a lot of original 1920s charm that was originally in the home, which is really nice because I am a big proponent of not liking those millennial transformed homes that have gray and nothing else. They take a really nice, beautiful home and they like uncharacterize it. It's very not great. But my favorite part of the home for her is the bathroom. It's just like the tile is so vintage, so chic, so pretty, gorgeous color. That's something I really like. And if I was to design a bathroom, I would do something similar. I would say the lovely vintage tile is something I feel like we need to see more of. Like, I love colorful tile, glass blocks, even though people say it's old school, but I think it really looks nice, especially with like light hitting it. And yeah, I just feel like hers is more of like a livable place that she put time and energy into, and I can really appreciate that as a designer. And so that is the synopsis I have on Celebrity Homes. I hope you enjoyed. This is very informal, very opinionated, but let me know what you think. And I'm happy you decided to stay for this long-winded, winding journey. Hopefully more videos in the future, but if not, thanks for watching, and I hope I see you next time. Thank you, bye!